I think the craziest part about getting divorced is having to change your emergency contact back to your mom. It would be less embarrassing to use a stranger from Craigslist, truly. But other than that, it went pretty smoothly. Like, we still have a lot of love and respect for each other. He's also a comedian, so we didn't have a lot of assets to split up. It's not like there was a summer house and a boat. It was like, do you want the Batman Begins DVD? Who gets the good spatula? And after some time had passed, we decided that we were going to try and be friends again. And that's always a little weird the first time you try hanging out with an ex as a friend. When he saw me, he fist bumped me. I was like, wow, honestly, I would rather have you fist me. That would feel less physically uncomfortable than this nightmare you just put us through. Hated that. Absolutely not. And I've had the deadly peanut allergy for most of my life, so for the 8 years we were together, he had to stop eating peanut products, because if he did and then kissed me, my throat could close. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, what's it like to eat peanut butter again? He goes, oh man, we should have broken up a long time ago. I don't even blame him. Have you had peanut butter? I can't compete with that. I hate that the person I'm with has to give that up. That puts way too much pressure on me to be worth the trade-off, right? Like, you're gonna rob a man of Reese's for the rest of his life? You better be pretty open-minded in the bedroom. Gonna make a man stop swallowing something delicious. Well, get ready to start swallowing something gross. You gotta fill the void that Snickers left. A missionary with the lights off ain't gonna cut it anymore. So, had to learn some new moves and watch some tutorials. That's what I call porn. It's just educational for me now. I just watch with a little notepad like, oh, pretend to gag. Okay. Seems good. I do think it's easy when you get married to stop trying as hard in bed, but God, if you get divorced and you start trying to date again, it's like having to come back out of retirement. You know? It's like you gotta start stretching, get ready to run another BJ 5K. Like, no, I just did this. Somebody moved the finish line back another 10 years. Ugh, can't even see it. Do we have any married people here tonight? That was a pretty sad sound. You guys were faking it a little bit. You're like, eh. Some of you just treated it like a silent auction. You were like... Just so sad. Anybody here been married for a really long time, like over 20 years? You guys are so cute. How long have you been married? 21. Give it up for 21. That's a long time. Yeah. So you guys get it. If you've been working the same job for over 2 decades, you start to cut some corners. Right? But if it is your first week at a new job, you are hustling. You just start. I'm sure you dudes have figured out by now that the best job you ever get from us is the first. Because women, we're so competitive, we know that you're about to compare us to every other one you've ever had. So we just enter the arena that night like, I will be queen. Give me that. We pull out all our tips and tricks, hurt our knees, throw our back out. We want a trophy. We will give head to get ahead. But then you get married and you start to treat like you're assembling IKEA furniture. Just skip a few steps, and by the end, you're like, next time I'm hiring somebody else to do this. A little righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, let's get the hell out of here. We gotta go to Costco. I tried to avoid the whole post-breakup identity crisis. One of my friends went through a breakup, and she got this dramatic haircut afterward as a revenge move against her ex. She's like, if he sees me, he's gonna know he missed out on this whole other me. Like a guy has ever seen a haircut and been like, never got a asymmetrical lob, Lisa. You guys never know when we change our hair, right? You're not even observant of yourselves. Before the divorce, I was cuddling with my ex, and I felt like my leg had been stabbed. I looked down. His toenails looked like he cut them with his teeth. They're all jagged, like he could unlock a secret door in a haunted house. I was like, do you have a best friend with a matching jagged toenail and you put them together to make a best friend necklace? Is that what you're doing? He turned his toe into a prison shiv. And I was like, what is this? He goes, I just didn't notice. Oh, I sure did. When you shanked my Achilles tendon. I'm bleeding out. Because I feel like this stuff only gets worse with you guys with age. Like, we've all seen the really old men with thick tufts of raccoon hair growing out of their ears. I'm sure that guy's wife has been telling him to trim it for years, and he just can't hear her. Like that? It's like yelling into a fan. It's coming right back in your face. I just sat next to a very old man on a plane recently, and I had my notebook out, and he leans over and goes, it's nice to see somebody writing and not on their phone. And I was like, aw, he doesn't know I'm writing jokes about cum. And I was like, oh, suddenly Candy Crush doesn't seem so bad, huh, Wendell? And I booped him on the nose. Love that, Wendell. It does feel a little weird to start over now in my 30s, but at least I know now what I like and don't like in a relationship. For example, I don't care how hot you are, I'm still never gonna eat your ass. Not a fan of the devil's chocolate. No, thank you. And I'm fair about it. I don't ask anybody to eat mine either, okay? There's no need. Women have a lot of holes down there. It's like a mini golf course. Just skip the one that's in a lagoon. Just don't even look at it. Listen to me. If you can wax your own lips, you're a psychopath. That is some Steve-O jackass level masochism. I want no part of it. So I'd been going to the salons, and then the salons closed for 6 months, and things got scary. There's so many beautiful women here tonight. I feel like a lot of women started 2020 with like a landing strip, and by July it was just a full airport. You can land anywhere. There's a Cinnabon and a Panda Express. There's a shuttle that takes you to a rental car lot. I mean, employees, W-9s, it's a lot going on. So finally, the salons opened back up, and I immediately made an appointment. And I remembered there's that rule that the hair has to be at least a 1/4 inch long in order for the wax to be able to pick it up. Oh my God. And do we need a medic? Are you okay? Are you too much for you? She's like, it's a 7:30 show. I didn't know what this was. I I don't like hockey, and we had a Groupon, but she's like, this is not the Christian way. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, so I remembered there's that rule that the hair has to be at least a 1/4 inch long in order for the wax to be able to pick it up. And I looked down and was like, well, that's not gonna be a problem. But for the first time in my life, I worried that maybe it's bad if the hair is longer than a 1/4 inch. So I called the salon. So embarrassing. I was like, hey, I have an appointment today. It's been a rough quarantine. Is there like a maximum hair requirement? And this poor girl just goes, I mean, how long are we talking? And I wasn't prepared to answer that. So I panicked and was like, we could probably donate it. No. Like, I don't know if Locks of Love specifies which type of hair they accept, but maybe somebody needs fake eyelashes. I don't know. We don't know where that hair comes from. I'll just throwing them on and praying, but could be pubes. I don't know. Basically, I feel like a lot of us were walking around kind of looking like the opposite of a porn star in 2020, right? Which is totally fine. My friend Jay actually told me that my celebrity lookalike is this porn star named Jessie Rogers. So I Googled her, and the first picture that popped up was her doing hardcore anal. And got a little creeped out, realizing that my friend Jay saw that and thought, you know who this reminds me of? Old gaping butthole Kelsey. Yeah. Old backdoor cook. Look at her go. A+. What is the matter with you, Jay? But by the way, it's so nice to be able to tell that joke in person again, because I've had to tell it on mostly virtual shows the past 2 years, and I realized that halfway through the joke, everybody would just open a new browser. It would just get really quiet, and I'd be like, hello? Everybody show me your hands. I don't trust you. What are you doing? I had to check into a hotel on the road recently, and it was early in the morning, and the woman checking me in, which is a little older, and she goes, I just have to tell you, you look so much like Amy Adams. Huh, I don't know if you ever hear that, but you really look like her. And it took all of my strength to not pull my phone out and be like, you know who everybody else says I look like? And just really blast her with a bee-hole at 8 a.m. I couldn't do it. I do think that Jessie Rogers and I, we do look alike. We have some different hobbies. You know, I've never just sat on a lava lamp. For example. Like, my ex-husband and I, we didn't even buy a sex toy until 7 years into the relationship. We had just been Flintstoning that shit. Just very little house on the prairie, just churning butter, very innocent. We ended up buying one of those vibrating wand things, and I gotta be honest, never liked it. Way too intense for me. Even on the lowest setting, this thing is like for blasting rocks. I was like, is this what you women have been using this whole time? I barely touched it to my body. My feet lifted off the ground. I took flight. I was not turned on at all. I was terrified. I was like, did I just puree my clit? Oh my God. No. This thing is meant for industrial kitchens, okay? It's for liquefying raw vegetables. It's crazy. So I ended up asking some of my friends about it, and it turns out that they have this toy, and they use it on the highest setting in order to have an orgasm. I was like, how have you not completely erased your vagina? Just sanded it down to a smooth slab of granite. Like a Barbie crotch. Yeah. And go bowling on it. And something I've learned about you dudes is that a lot of you guys like stuff that vibrates too. So one night before the divorce, my ex and I were out drinking. I'd had a few gin and hams. As you do. And when we got home, I was just feeling a little extra spicy, so I decided to crank it to 10 just to see what would happen. And the moment I touched it to his junk, his balls, whoop, went up inside his body. I didn't even know they could do that. I was just staring at him like, oh. Do they stay up there until you sneeze really hard?